Hi, good evening, everyone. So, beta, this is part one of the discussion of Indian Economic Service 2024 solutions. So, we know that the paper was conducted on 24th of June 2024. And now that we have the paper available to us, we should go ahead and discuss the paper once, right? We should see what the paper was all about. So let us go ahead and look into the paper. I am going to go ahead and take the first question of section A today. There were 7 parts to the first question, right? And all 7 parts are compulsory. You need to go ahead and do all 7 parts. So let us try to go ahead and see what that paper was all about. Let us try to look into the paper, right? Before I start discussing the paper, please understand that the first section, if you just try to analyze the first section, you will realize that there was microeconomics and macroeconomics, which has been asked. It always happens as part of section A. So accordingly, the paper has been designed. Okay, beta. This was the first question. Let us try to have a look at the question. If demand function is this is the demand function given to you. P is equal to 4 minus 0.5 Q square. For what values of Q will price elasticity be unity? Now, first of all, you need to go ahead and understand that because it says that this is the demand function, क्योंकि ये demand function के बारे में बात कर रहा है, we need to understand that when we talk about price elasticity being unity, we will equate the elasticity equal to -1. अगर 1 equate करोगे, you will get wrong answer. ठीक है? We are talking about demand, है ना? And elasticity of demand is always negative. So remember that when I will be equating it to demand, I will be equating जो भी मेरी elasticity निकल के आएगी, I will go ahead and I will equate it to -1. So that is the first important thing that you have to remember. Alternatively, what you can go ahead and you can do in this question now, that you can go ahead and you can find elasticity in the absolute terms, right? And after that, you can go ahead and you can equate it to 1. So find elasticity in absolute terms. And equate to 1. दोनों में से कोई भी एक चीज you can go ahead and do. Either find elasticity in absolute term and equate it to 1, और जो भी elasticity आएगा, simply go ahead and equate it to -1. Let's find the elasticity. So this is my price function given to me. And we know that when we talk about elasticity of demand, the formula is very simple. How quantity changes as price changes into initial price by initial quantity. How Q changes as P changes into P by Q. So what I can go ahead and I can do is that I can start with my price function. P is equal to 4 minus, I am given 0.5 Q whole square. Okay, beta. And I will go ahead and I will find out dP by dQ, because this is easy to differentiate. I am given the price function, तो उसको differentiate करना, it will be easier for me. So I will find out dP by dQ, and this will give me, use the chain rule, 2 comes down, 4 minus 0.5 Q into differentiation of this will be minus 0.5. Right? So this will go ahead and give me 2, 4 minus 0.5 Q, and this will go ahead and give me minus half, and this will cancel out, and this will be minus 4 minus 0.5 Q. This will be dP by dQ. ये dP by dQ हो जाएगा, right? So now I need to find out the elasticity of demand, and the formula is how quantity changes as price changes into initial price by initial quantity. So if I go ahead and from here I try to find out dQ by dP beta, this will be reciprocal, इसका opposite हो जाएगा. So the reciprocal of this will be -1 by 4 minus 0.5 Q. So this will go ahead and become minus 1 by 4 minus 0.5 Q. And what is price given to you? Beta price का क्या equation दिया हुआ है ये 4 minus 0.5 Q whole square. So I will just put 4 minus 0.5 Q whole square upon Q. Upon Q. This is going to become my elasticity of demand. समझे? Now I can just go ahead and cancel out this and I will be left up with minus 4 minus 0.5 Q by Q. This will be my elasticity of demand. ठीक है? Now this is what I was talking about. कि there are two ways. या तो आप elasticity of demand को absolute terms में निकाल के you equate it to 1. Or you equate elasticity of demand equal to minus 1. Both options are correct. You can go ahead and do either of these. दोनों में से कुछ भी एक कर लो, it is fine. So what you can go ahead and you can do in this case now, you will go ahead and equate minus 0.5 Q by Q equal to minus 1. And now I will just cancel this out. And I will get 4 minus 0.5 Q is equal to Q. 4 is equal to 1.5 Q. Q is equal to 4 divided by 1.5. 40 by 15, 8 by 3. So this will be the answer to my elasticity of demand. ये मेरा elasticity of demand हो जाएगा. I mean quantity हो जाएगा. This is what the question is asking. Find the quantity such that the price elasticity is unit. I hope this is making sense to you. Okay. So now what we can go ahead and we can do beta is the next question. Come to question number B now. Okay. What is question saying? Let's have a look here. It says if production function is homogeneous of degree 1. तो जैसे उन्होंने लिख दिया that it is homogeneous of degree 1 and it is constant returns to scale, it means that the sum of the power of the input should be 1. It is homogeneous of degree 1, है ना? तो sum of the powers of the input has to be 1. तो मेरा जो production function है, it can either look A, L to the power alpha, K to the power beta, such that alpha plus beta is 1. तब ये homogeneous of degree 1 हो जाएगा. Or there is no need to include a technology factor and you can just write y is equal to L to the power alpha, K to the power beta, such that your alpha plus beta is 1. Either ways it is fine. दोनों ही तरीके से it is fine. So you can go ahead and you can take any of this. ठीक है? अच्छा, now try to see the question beta. It says, show that marginal productivity and average productivity functions are independent of the absolute amount of input. They only depend on the input ratio. So what we need to go ahead and show beta, कि जब हम marginal product of labor या marginal product of capital या average product of labor or average product of capital, when we find out these values, they are a function of K by L or function of L by K. They don't depend on individually K or individually L. They depend on the ratio. They are a function of the ratio. This is what we need to go ahead and show. हमें इसी चीज को describe करना है, right? So what I can do, it's very simple, this question. I think the entire paper was very simple. So it's very simple. What we can do, y is equal to K to the power, sorry, L से ले लेते हैं. So y is equal to L to the power alpha, K to the power beta. So marginal product of labor will become how output changes as labor changes. You will differentiate this with respect to L. So power comes down, power reduces by 1, K to the power beta. ठीक है? So this can be written as alpha. और यहाँ पे ना I will take minus common and I will get 1 minus alpha into K to the power beta. So now we know that since it is given to me that alpha plus beta is 1 beta, so I can say that 1 minus alpha will be beta. So instead of this 1 minus alpha, I can simply go ahead and put beta. मैं यहाँ पे beta plug in कर सकती हूँ. I can plug in beta. So when I will be plugging in beta, I will get alpha L to the power minus beta, K to the power beta. And this will become alpha K to the power beta by L to the power beta. So alpha K by L to the power beta. Clear? तो marginal product of labor is coming as a function of K by L ratio. It is coming as a function of K by L. तो यही तो हमें प्रूव करना था. We have gone ahead and proved that. Clear? अच्छा, now let us go ahead. I will do it for average product also. Then I will leave capital wala proof to you. So now what you can do, find average product of labor, and this will be output divided by labor. So output is L to the power alpha, K to the power beta by L. This will be K to the power beta upon L to the power 1 minus alpha. When this will cancel out, you will get 1 minus alpha. Right? 1 minus alpha is beta beta. So it will be K to the power beta by L to the power beta. And this will be K by L to the power beta. So average product is a function of K by L ratio. ये भी क्लियर हो गई बात हमें. So we have proved that average product is a function of the ratio, and we have proved that marginal product is also a function of the ratio. Proved? Clear? ठीक है बेटा. Now homework. I have proved you for MPL and APL on very similar lines. You can go ahead and prove for MPK and APK. I am going ahead and giving you this as homework. Do this. Okay. So I hope the first two questions are clear to you, and both the questions beta are from microeconomics. ठीक है बेटा. Now let's go to the next question. Again, the question is from microeconomics. Let's read the question. देखो. अच्छा, for students who have enrolled, I have written all the answers down, like you can see. तो इसका PDF also I will share it with you. ठीक है, I will share the PDF of solutions with you. जो भी solutions I am going ahead and I am writing ना, I will share those with you. ठीक है, but let's now go to the next question. देखो, explain peak load pricing with reference to power sector. In what way it increases economic efficiency? तो peak load pricing क्या बोलता है बेटा? What is peak load pricing? Peak load pricing goes ahead and says that you can go ahead and charge higher price during peak times. ठीक है, जैसे for example, we know that in households, है ना, during afternoon there is a dip in electricity consumption. And during evening hours, जब सब लोग अपने घर वापस आ जाते हैं ऑफिस से, there is increase in electricity consumption. So during evening hours, when there is an increase in electricity consumption, बेटा ये वाला जो पार्ट हो जाता है, this is our peak hours. And ये वाला जो पार्ट हो जाता है, this is our off hours. So during peak hours, we will charge higher price. And during off hours, we will charge low price. This is the concept of peak load pricing. इसी को हम peak load price बोल देते हैं. Now, why does it cause economic efficiency? Because just imagine, during peak hours, everybody is doing consumption. सब लोग consume कर रहे हैं. So it is going ahead and it is overutilizing the resources. और उस टाइम पे when it is overutilizing the resources, when you charge higher price, you are asking people to in a way lower their consumption. आपने उनसे बहुत high price ले लिया है ना? तो when you are charging higher price from these people, then they will automatically lower their consumption, reducing your burden on the resources. Clear? ठीक है, let's see how I have written this answer. तो देखो यहाँ पे जरा, first I have tried to explain what is peak load pricing. Peak load pricing is a strategy where high prices are charged during time of peak demand for goods and service. ये general definition हो गया about peak load pricing. Now the question was saying, explain it with reference to power sector. तो मैंने power sector के reference में I have explained it here. It is commonly used in industries like electricity, where demand peaks at certain time of the day or year. जैसे in summers, demand is high. In winters, demand is low. So you will charge higher price in summer and lower price in winter. You will charge higher price in the night and lower price in the afternoon. So charging different prices during different period of day or year, that becomes peak load pricing. Then I have drawn this diagram, and this graph quickly explains the concept of peak load pricing. Right? So this is different demand. This is my demand during peak period. And correspondingly, this is my MR curve. Okay. And this is my demand during off peak period, off load period, lower demand. And this is my corresponding MR curve during off period. Right? Now what I have done is, cost of producing additional electricity is same only. Produce to electricity hi kar rahe ho. So this is marginal cost curve. One common MC curve. Now what I have done is, it is upward sloping marginal cost curve I have taken. That means the cost curve remains the same, but as output increases, additional cost is increasing. This is what I have tried to show here. Now, this is MR, this is MR, MC. They are intersecting at point this, and this is the price charge during off periods. Again, this is MR, MC, and they are intersecting at this quantity, higher demand. So during higher demand, I am charging higher price called as peak load price. तो ये हमारा डायग्राम हो गया फॉर पीक लोड प्राइसिंग. क्लियर? ठीक है बेटा. अब हमने बताया है नेक्स्ट पार्ट में. सो रिमेंबर, दिस एंटायर क्वेश्चन हैज टू बी रिटन वेरी इन अ वेरी आई कैन से स्मॉल वे. बहुत ज्यादा what can I say, in a very limited summarized way आपको इस पूरे आंसर को लिखना है. So try to understand this thing, that this question that you have, there are 7 questions in section A beta. There are 7 questions in section A, and each is for 5 marks, consisting 35 marks. So since each question is for 5 marks, you cannot just exceed too many words. बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं लिखना है, but you need to make sure that you answer everything that is mentioned here, right? So try to see this part now. What this is saying? I have told about what is peak load pricing. इसको मैंने अच्छे से discuss कर लिया यहाँ पे. Now I need to discuss in what ways it will increase economic efficiency. So now in one paragraph, I have quickly explained how it will improve my economic efficiency. ठीक है, देखो ध्यान से. Electricity generation reaches capacity of generating plants, causing larger quantity of electricity to be expensive to produce. तो यहाँ पे this is capacity कर दो इसे. This is capacity. So we are saying कि what happens during the peak periods. जब हमारा peak period चल रहा होता है तो हम अपनी capacity को reach कर जाते हैं. We reach our capacity. When we reach our capacity, we find it expensive to generate electricity. When we find it expensive to generate electricity, we charge higher price from consumer also. Economic efficiency is improved by charging higher price during peak price, as it provides incentive for consumer to switch consumption to off-peak hours. तो जब हम कंज्यूमर्स को बोल रहे हैं कि जब आप ये शाम को इलेक्ट्रिसिटी यूज करोगे, आपको उसका ज्यादा प्राइस देना है. यू हैव टू पे हायर प्राइस इफ यू विल यूज इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ड्यूरिंग इवनिंग आवर्स. वी आर आस्किंग देम टू स्विच देयर कंजम्पशन टुवर्ड्स द afternoon hours. So maybe they will not use washing machine in the evening. They may use washing machine in the afternoon. Are you understanding? So we are improving the economic efficiency, right? We are using resources in a better way, right? Okay. But question number 4. This says distinguish between Ricardo and Kalecki theories of distribution. Remember, this question has been asked for 5 marks. क्योंकि ये सिर्फ 5 मार्क्स का ही आया है, you don't have to write everything. I cannot write assumption, criticism and model and everything. No, I don't fill that much for 5 marks. I have written exactly 2 paragraphs here, beta. Paragraph 1 explaining Ricardo model, and the second paragraph explaining the Kalecki model of distribution. That's it. मैंने बस ऊपर ऊपर से बताया है कि व्हाट इज द रिकार्डो मॉडल टेलिंग अस एंड व्हाट इज द काल्की मॉडल टेलिंग अस, काल्की मॉडल टेलिंग अस, राइट? So again, I think even this can be further reduced. You don't have to write tons and tons of information. The question carries only 5 marks. So accordingly, I have tried to frame this answer considering it to be only for 5 marks. And I hope that you will go ahead and read this answer. I'm not discussing it. It's a theory question. You will be able to do this. Nothing very different here. ठीक है. अच्छा, इसी तरीके से it has asked define Hicks-Kaldor compensation principle. What are the main criticism for this principle? तो दो चीजें पूछ ली गई हैं. First of all, it is asking you to explain Hicks-Kaldor compensation principle. But what does this principle says? It's a microeconomics question. It says that suppose I go ahead and I redistribute resources in my society in such a way that there are some people who gain, some people who lose. कुछ तो gain करेंगे, कुछ lose करेंगे. But those people who gain, they are able to compensate the losers, and still there is net gain in the society. So that is a better transaction or better bundle. यही तो compensation principle कहता है, right? This is what Kaldor-Hicks compensation principle tells you. So what does Kaldor-Hicks compensation principle tells you, beta? Kaldor-Hicks compensation criteria suggests that if a certain change in economic organization or policy makes people better off, कुछ लोगों को हम better off कर रहे हैं, and makes other people worse off, we are making some people worse off, but it net increases the social welfare, as people who gained can compensate loser and still be better off. So even if after compensating the losers, I am still better off, right? Then it will be a good bundle. The new bundle you achieve, the new point you achieve, the new equilibrium you achieve will be a better off equilibrium. ये हमारा हो गया. This is just stating the principle, beta. This will fetch you 2 marks, right? Then if you just quickly give this diagram, right, 1 marks. Now I need to also list down the criticism of this model. इस मॉडल का criticism भी मेरे को यहाँ पे देना है. It is asking what are the main criticism against this principle. So I need to make sure that I also tell about the criticism of the model. Clear? ठीक है बेटा. What are the criticisms? There are multiple criticisms we have studied in class. You can mention all those criticisms. But most important criticism is that it is not free from value judgment. ये जो gains and loss की हम बात करते हैं, it is very much based on the judgment of people, based on the value judgment of people, right? That's the first thing. Secondly, you need to also explain that the compensation that we discuss in this model, they're very hypothetical in nature, right? And suppose, imagine that suppose someone who is gaining is already a rich person and someone who is losing is a poor person. And now he becomes more rich, right? And this person becomes more poor because he is losing. So this kind of compensation principle makes rich more richer and poor more poorer, right? And this is one of the very big criticism of this model. So you need to go ahead and you need to tell about this criticism also, that it makes the rich richer and poor poorer. Okay, so these criticisms are enough. You can write this much. Okay, beta. Come to the next question. Again, a microeconomics question. It has been asked for 5 marks. So I will go straight to the answer. देखो question क्या बोल रहे हैं. Show that production function, you are given a production function here, is concave for all values of beta 1, beta 2 greater than 0. What I have done first of all is I have tried to open up this production function using the properties of log. Log ka properties use kar lo. So you know Q is given to you as log L to the power beta 1, K to the power beta 2. What you can do in this now, use the properties that log mn is log m plus log n, and log m to the power n is n log m. ये दो properties हमें इसमें use करनी है. So if I go ahead and I use these two properties, what will I get from here? Q is equal to beta 1 log L plus beta 2 log K. This will become my model. This will be the output I will be getting. Now, it is asking me to prove that it is concave. So to prove concavity in multivariate model, if I need to prove that it is concave, it means I need to prove semi-definiteness. Right? So I need to prove f double dash xx is less than equal to 0, f double dash yy less than equal to 0, and the Hessian matrix determinant greater than 0. So I need to go ahead and I need to prove this three things for me to prove that this is concave. Right? This is exactly what I have done here. So this is my production function. I have gone ahead and differentiated this with respect to labor, and I will get beta 1 by L. I have differentiated this again with respect to L, क्योंकि मेरे को double dash चाहिए. And when I will differentiate this again with respect to L, so this is beta 1 into 1 by L, na beta. And differentiation of 1 by L will be minus 1 by L square. So I will get minus beta 1 by L square. We know beta 1 is positive. देखो यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. Beta 1 is given to you as positive. Beta 2 is also given to you as positive. So what we will get is that this is positive and this is also positive. So entire thing will become less than 0 because there is a negative sign involved. So we have got that f double dash LL is less than 0. Similarly, what you can do, you can differentiate this with respect to capital. So when I will differentiate with respect to K, I will get beta 2 by K. And when I will again differentiate this with respect to K, I will get minus beta 2 by K square. Beta 2 is positive, K square is positive with a negative sign. So this is less than 0. Now I will go ahead and I will differentiate this with respect to L. And I will get 0 here. I will form the Hessian. And this will be my Hessian. Hessian will have double differentiation with respect to L, with respect to K. And these two will be equal beta using Young's theorem. ये दोनों equal है और दोनों ही 0 है. I will go ahead, I will put these values here. And when I will try to find its determinant, I will get its determinant as beta 1, beta 2 by L square, K square. Beta 1 and beta 2 are positive. L square and K square are positive. So you will get this as positive. So you have f double dash LL negative, f double dash KK negative, Hessian matrix determinant positive, properties of being semi-definite, negative semi-definite, and therefore concave. So we have proved that this production function that we are talking about is actually concave in nature, and that proof should be enough. This proof is enough. Right? So this is what the question is asking you, and we have been able to go ahead and we have been able to prove this thing. Okay, so I just missed out on the last question I just realized, which is question number 7, which says specify an orthogonal factor model and mention its assumptions. So I have taken this lecture in the class where we have discussed orthogonal factor model. Specification model हमने discuss किया हुआ है, orthogonal model भी discuss किया हुआ है. You can just go ahead and write that model as it is with the assumptions. ठीक है? So I think that this completes section A of this paper. I will take section B separately, beta. The paper section A was extremely easy. To solve this entire section 8 just took me 20 minutes. So I think that the level is not difficult, and you should have been able to do this paper. So this covers the first 35 marks of this paper. I will discuss the next section in the next video. Okay, beta. Thank you.